Okay, guys. Young Phil's an idiot. Let's just put that out there.
But he's our idiot, and we love him.
Right. So as I was trying to turn off my my phone camera, I somehow turned off the entire stream. I had to make a new one, and now I'm trying to get everybody back in right now. This is what happens when you're extremely tired and you just
It sounds like Phil was knocked out and was taken over by a scroll.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. That sounds about right. I think I just sent Corissa the wrong link too. So hold on, let me get to the right one.
Oh yeah, the one I put in the chat. It seems to be the right.
Yeah, no, I just sent her that one right now. So guys, again, I do apologize for being an idiot and doing dumb things that I shouldn't have done. I apologize for being stupid because I'm an idiot, and that's just kind of how it is. So guys, let's welcome back to the show here, Carissa Grant.
Woo!
Yeah, there are easier ways to get rid of me. Hi, long time no see.
I know, right? So tell us about yourself. What kind of comment you make?
Oh man. Okay, so before I forget, someone said, "Is there a soundtrack?" Or if that's what they meant. So we do have a song that was written and created for. I like the other way. Written and created for the two characters, and it was written and performed by Permissible Indulgence, a new rewind, a new band, and the lyrics are actually on the Kickstarter page. And if James is my new favorite person. And if you listen to
you're the only one, so just
if you listen to the video that's currently live on Kickstarter, the background music in the video is from the song, and the song is a download for $3 as an add-on, and you get both the instrumental version and you're welcome. The instrumental version and also the obviously vocal version. It's actually getting re-recorded in a couple of months or next month. As for the link, just so everyone knows, the easiest way to find Worthy Chaos is to search Worthy Chaos in Kickstarter, because we're the only thing that pops up. Do not, for the love of all, search Redemption. There's like 700, but Worthy Chaos will pop up for Worthy Chaos.
Yes, I did put the link into the chat, so everyone that wants to check it out, make sure to check that out.
Yeah. And it's the video. If you watch the video, it tells you about issue 4 and 5, and if you keep watching, you get to see Anubis, an animation that someone did for me, and then it'll give you a summary of 1, 2, 3. And to let you know about 5, we have a subspecies of vampires that I created. They're called clotters. Their heart beats only once every 6 hours, which is just enough to keep off rigor mortis for 2 reasons. One, vampires always bother me that they bled with no heartbeat, so that's just the logic. And yes, I know they're mystical creatures, but for whatever reason it bothers me. And but because of the clotted blood, it actually makes them stronger because it's thicker, but it also requires them to feed directly from humans because they can't get enough nutrients from animals or a bag. And the problem with that is they're not like Buffy. They do have their souls. So when they're first turned, they would have to either feed directly from a human and kill them, or they decompose like a zombie. So they wound up for the species, survival, they wound up only changing murderers and sociopaths and the meanest of people they can find, because they are more willing to attack humans and bleed them dry.
I love the amount of thought that's put into how this
Yeah. And the worst part for our characters is if they taste your blood or bite you, they can track you anywhere you go, like a homing beacon. And if you kill any of them, they will come after you for revenge, which shockingly, that's what happens. So now in 6, they're going to have to go and track down every single vampire in the the family, or they will continue to come after them over and over again until she's dead anyway. Because she's the one that kills everything. He's good too, but
I kill everything.
So, it sounds like essentially they're using blood magic then to be able to do all that.
Yeah, this is the subspecies. So there are regular vampires in the story later on, and mostly in the spinoff. But this is a subspecies because I didn't want anyone to say those aren't vampires. So they are subspecies. Also, they are not afraid of sunlight, and they don't sparkle, but they don't.
Oh no, I'm
sorry.
Now.
But they don't flame out. Will they be vampires? No, but there's Anubis versus Hellhounds. Is that good enough?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
They're not sparkling. We don't want them. I like my vampires like I like my champagne.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in true mythology, not a lot of people know this, but if you go by the myths, vampires do not flame up in the sun. They actually are just shadow creatures, but they don't die in the sun. So we kept that. Also, they don't have to be invited in. Which makes them a little bit more ruthless. So all around they're assholes is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Make them dickheads. That's what we do here.
Yeah, they're true assholes. One of them's a sexy asshole though, so there is a sexy.
I mean, the vampires a lot of times, they're sexy buttholes.
Yeah, right.
You like sexy butt? No,
Yeah, these so vampires are emo. They're not. These aren't as emo, but they're there.
Well, I have to ask, have you read the Dresden Files?
I have not. But someone just said that recently, and now I think I have to read them. Yeah.
Yes.
So I see they're good.
Yes, they go heavily into old school lore of the Fae, the vampires, werewolves, and everything. It's awesome. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah. So you said this is 7 months you've been working on this. So is this your first comic book then for you?
This is my first comic book. Yeah. So 7 months ago, we were looking into an editor to be like, if this is something possible to do novel wise, or would it have to, wouldn't work out or whatever, because it's in role play format. And the editor's like, you would have to merge the entire story. And I didn't want to do that. So instead of making a dime from it, I was like, forget it. We'll just print it for ourselves, and I'll find an artist to do a cover for us, and we'll go from there. So I was looking at cover artists on like Upwork or something, and I said, these are all cartoony. Do you want more realistic? Because we're role players. So we originally had actors in mind, when we were doing this. I was like, do you want something more realistic? And JC said, cartoony's fine. And like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, well, if you don't mind cartoony, let me just say we could do comic books. And JC's like, okay. So of course I jumped into it like a freaking moron without knowing anything about it. I hired an artist, and then I went to bed that very night, and the same night, and I was like, I don't know how to do a script. So JC's like, you'll figure it out. And I woke up the next morning, and I looked it up on YouTube for 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I wrote a script. I gave it to a letterer, and the letterer is like, did you want to see any of the art, or did you want all dialogue? And I was like, oh, right. So my one script became 3, and woohoo, 3 scripts. So yeah,
like your attitude and all this is do this. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah, I mean, my first artist, I will say, screwed me over. Stole $3,000 from me. I tried to fix it for $2,000, and it failed. And if you look at the very, very first Kickstarter, where I knew absolutely nothing about marketing or Facebook or anything, it's a completely different art. And it's not that it's bad, it wasn't what I wanted. But anyway, so I found a new artist who I love. Jonas DaCosta is absolutely phenomenal. And who looks like Kevin Sorbo? Does he really? He's way hotter.
I think Marta Z is just thinking Kevin Sorbo, Hercules.
I was like, who? Kevin Sorbo?
He's way hotter than Kevin Sorbo.
Marta Z.
So I got this new artist, and so technically Jonas DaCosta started on issue 2. And after he did 2, I loved the art so freaking much that, he went on to do 3. And I kept asking everyone, shouldn't I redo 1? Because it's a different artist. I was like, oh, comic books always have different artists. Don't worry about it. But the more I saw his art, the more I was like, oh, no, I really need to do issue 1 over again. So I finally relented, and I was like, screw it. So I threw away the $5,000, and then he redid it, and I'm so glad he did, because it's absolutely 1,000 times better. His panel work is absolutely phenomenal. He he kind of makes it like a movie, which one person who for like $200 will fix it for me said, oh, you have too many panels, and you can put meanwhile, which I don't know where I put meanwhile, but you can put meanwhile and take out half of these panels. It's not a movie. And I was like, well, I get praised more on my panels than, so it's kind of like a movie novel comic book, because we have thought bubbles. But in the retro comics, thought bubbles were mostly like exposition, like what they're about to do, what they did. This is more like getting into their heads, because when I read novels, my favorite part of novels is to get inside the character's head. So in this one, you get to see what this internal struggle that they have, and hints about their past and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, what kind of surprised me about Jonas's when I saw the credits that Jonas had, you don't see it very often, even in indie comics, where somebody inks, colors, and pencils everything as one artist.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, like
yeah, he's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Right. Like, usually you'll see like a penciler, an inker, and a colorist, and it's 3 separate people. It's very rare that you see somebody who does all 3 of them as one artist.
Yeah, so you better stick around or I'm going to kill him. Yeah, is that allowed? That was out loud. Actually, it's funny because he posted something like 3 weeks ago where RoboCop, he put a picture of RoboCop and said this poor guy died on the job and his boss made him come in the next day. And I said, this is exactly what I'm going to do to you. So if you ever die, you're coming back some way or another. And as for the Devil May Cry, and we'll see. I'll answer the one on the screen. What is this? Where are you going before this passion project? Where are you focused?
What were you doing?
I wasn't doing anything. I don't even remember what life was before. I have no clue. Like, I asked JC all the time. I was like, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. This consumes my every second of the day. What the hell was I doing with my time before?
So what she's saying is she did nothing before comic books. Corissa Grant didn't exist.
I did not exist at all. Yeah. No.
Before this comic book.
Yeah. And whoever wrote It Looks Like Devil May Cry, that's actually a huge compliment, because that was like one of my I love that game. I thought he was like the coolest character, and he looked, really hot with like his shirt open all the time. Yeah.
That sounds like a Marty Z comment.
No, it's Say Wong, and Say Wong going to ask you which Devil May Cry.
Well, that's
yeah. I don't which is my left. This is my left, because that's backwards, because on the screen it looks this one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that one's yeah.
This is actually
yes.
Anubis, which is Anubis fighting my fur demon. So there you go. He's a lot cuter in plushy form, but yeah.
Everything's cuter in plushy form.
We want the main villain to be cute. Now, given that's also not wrong, because the cuter they are, the more terrifying they are. So
well, yeah. Yeah. Like in this, did you ever watch South Park, the cute woodland animals?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Woodland animals were the best.
Yes. Poor Strawberry Shortcake Man. I had that doll when I was a kid. That was not good. But
you have to sacrifice him to the devil.
Yeah. So this is the skeleton bird from issue 3, and the zombie merman from issue 2. She fights him underwater because she's badass character. What is the question? Let's talk merch people. Oh yeah. I have been called merch queen, apparently behind my back, but I'm all right with that.
Merch queen.
Yeah, I have.
That's James's new nickname.
Yeah. You name it, I probably have it on there. I have 3D statues. I have 3D printed statues. I have resin and regular. I have the 1-inch tabletop RPG Anubises. I have gold-plated Anubis coins. I have pillows, plushies, clay statues, homemade clay statues.
James, why don't we have pillows?
Yeah, you need pillows.
We need pillows.
You guys need wrestling buddy pillows.
But like wrestling buddies of our Funko Pops.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm in agreement with this.
I don't collect Funko Pops because I'm pretty sure that would I can't. I gotta watch what I collect. This is the best hobby ever because everything I buy is tax deductible. So that's why half these things there's only 3 made, one for me, one for my co-writer, and one to sell. So
that's me.
Yeah.
As a Funko Pop.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then James isn't here, but you can see James as a Funko Pop.
He's adorable.
I know, isn't he?
He is.
I got asked though, where's the Forza and Graveyard Funko Pops? I mean, we gave them to you. Come on.
So somebody's asking about the pillows. This is the cute, angry Anubis pillow. There's 3 different sizes. This is mine. You can't have this one. And then I have the regular fighting Anubis from the banner back there. So yeah. There's I think they're like 1 foot pillows in there. But yeah, so
that is amazing.
Yeah, actually our stuffed animal stores, so these are all handmade. So they're unfortunately more expensive. I will gladly send you her data. I met her at a con. Anubis is awesome. I had 8 made and there's 3 left. So they're all limited edition. There's actually only one of the other ones. Hellhound is being made now because in issue 4, Anubis plays fetch with a hellhound, and now he follows him around with a stick in his mouth. So, but yeah, so
nice.
There's that. Yeah, body pillows. Yeah,
yeah.
So our Anubis is. I've been told, oh, Anubis isn't bad. He is not bad. So I'm going to tell you now, if you guys notice, you have to look really closely because I am absolutely insane with details. And her angelic father has a remote in his hand. That's an anklet, and it has in runes, it spells Anubis. He is controlling Anubis with the remote, which Anubis starts to fight with. And in series 2, he actually joins the war with my characters. But for now, he's just, going after them. But so to tell you little details in the background. So, when you watch movies and you turn on the damn TV and instantaneously there's exposition on what they need to go and what they, So as a joke, because that always happens. So in one, if you notice, she gets up, she turns on the TV and magically it tells her exactly where to go. Yeah. But if you also look really closely, the TV is unplugged. And the angel outside the window is the one controlling the TV. And that's why in the next page, he says to her, you're already going there. And she says, how the hell does he know where I'm going? So he's the one that made the newscast come up.
Right. Because I saw that in the panel that it was unplugged from the back of the TV.
Unplugged. Yes. So, yeah.
Is that Papa?
What?
is he Papa?
Do you really? Who?
The angel dude.
Oh, yeah. No, that one's their failed guardian angel.
Okay. See, I need to read more.
Yes. Yes.
In the dialogue and do you ever have to dial it up or down? Why would I ever have to dial down violence? What the hell are you reading?
That's the point of indie comics, James. Come on.
No, I'm like, that's got to be a James question. That's
it's
a very
James question.
I don't know.
Let me clarify. So I have a huge warning in the front of the book. So if you read the book, you would know there's a warning. So there is no toning down any violence. However, there is no nudity in the book. But a Marvel artist did do for a gift. A Marvel artist did do a topless vampire cover for my next one. So if you want topless, there you go.
Get the variant cover.
Yeah, the variant
cover. At you.
Yeah. Well, I just imagine James is asking because it might be too scary for him. James doesn't like horror.
It's not scary. Well, you know what?
It's scary at all.
Skip page 2 and 3 because that's the worst. The parents being
he's covered in blood the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, the head being thrown at her. Yeah, it's whatever.
I thought that was funny.
I thought it was funny, but yeah. So I've been asked at cons and my book signings, I'll have these parents come up to me. So what is this rated? And I was like, I'm going to tell you R because I'm like, there's gore and there's a ton of swearing. And they said, oh, but is there any nudity? I said, no. They're like, oh, that's fine. I was like, how old is your kid? It's like, I don't know, like at 10. I was like, okay. So all they care about is nudity.
That is very much a Christian thing to say.
Yeah, I guess. I will tell you that there are a ton of swear words. And my mom's raving review that's going to be plastered in the back of my graphic novel is finally read your story. And besides all the swear words, it was pretty good. So there are swear words. So there you go. That my roaring review for my mom will be
Hide
awesome.
all the swear words.
So I have a question. It was kind of going off of what James things about the violence and stuff like that. Do you ever get the artwork back and go, you know what? More blood, more violence, more gore.
Death.
I usually put on the script. It usually says, "Make this disgusting." So no, I haven't had that yet. I think the Hellhound in the alleyway should have been. I wanted it decomposing, and he didn't. And now that he didn't, I was like, well, I kind of like it. It's not, but it was supposed to be decomposing. But now it's just a really cool looking Hellhound.
There's not enough missing eye socket. I need more eye socket.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like the violence gets probably the violence to my characters get worse in probably 4 and 5 because they go to hell and they're tortured and all this stuff. So fun things ahead.
Fun.
But yeah, we torture our characters in every way possible, physically,
as you should.
mentally, emotionally.
Okay, the torture's fine as long as there's no boobs shown. Okay,
yeah.
That's where we draw the line.
Hey! There's a nipple in that picture. No,
right next to that spouting organ.
Yeah, there's no nudity because my business clients read it, and my mom reads it, and my brother and father loved nudity. But there really is no reason for it in our story, and I know it sells more books. And if I had thrown a lesbian scene in there, it would have sold thousands. But it just wasn't what the story was about.
But I love that. I love that you're doing what serves the story and not just what's gonna sell. Like I love that because that just means you're not compromising on the story itself, and that means a lot. Like to me, as a reader, to me as somebody who enjoys books and things like that, that I would rather somebody who is uncompromised and unfettered on their story rather than just trying to sell something that they know is going to sell like money wise.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm making this because I want to see it. Everyone else reading it is just a bonus.
But I mean, that's what it should be. Make something that you would read, right? That's the same thing that James Gunn says. When he talks about the movies that he makes, he makes movies that he would want to watch.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is. I mean, our characters. So obviously they love each other. There's an underlining bond that they have, but it's not a romance. There's no mushiness going on. It is kind of Romeo and Juliet in hell if you want to look at it that way. But it's more about the survival. It's more about what they would do for each other, like the limits they would go, which you'll eventually see there is no limits. But they'll do anything to keep the other one safe. And of course they argue about doing that because one wants to protect the other and the other wants to protect the other. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see, I don't know if anyone will notice this. I noticed it because I saw the progression through the writing, but in the very beginning, probably most of book 1 and half of book 2, Serafina always has to charge in on her own. She doesn't care what Draven doesn't want her to go. She just charges in. She's been doing this for 10 years and she's badass and whatever. But when they're in the middle of some horrible situations in the asylum, she did let him do something or save her or something. So she does kind of let him once in a while. Once in a while, she'll let him go into a room that she knows is dangerous first because she knows he wants him to. But pretty much she just wants to kick everyone's ass. So
she doesn't want to be the damsel. She wants to be the hero.
Yeah, she's not a damsel. I mean, even when she does get hurt, it's usually because she's trying to protect him from something. And I'm going to let you know that the title Worthy Chaos is her. She causes all the chaos that there is. Her angelic blood, calls to everything, violent and evil, and everything's after her. And she always thinks she's a huge burden to Draven, which in this issue, she actually does try to leave. She wants to leave to protect him. She knows the vampires are after them. Her brother's after them. She doesn't even know that their fathers are after him yet. So she wants to protect him, but, that bond keeps her from, actually going too far. But so she doesn't want to be a burden, but he always says that she's worth it. And so she's the worthy chaos.
Nice.
And that's why it's called that. but you get to see the internal struggle with him. So our story's nonstop violent, I guess, or nonstop action is a better way to put it. We give them like 3 pages in issue 5 to talk to each other. So you get to see that.
Her brother, I got to get this thought out of my head, but like her brother 100% reminds me of just a character from Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
You talking about Otis? Otis?
If there's anybody that I would think of,
I've
Otis.
never seen that, but I heard
Otis. So not the dude that's the clown, the other guy.
Yeah, that's Otis.
That's Otis, yeah.
Otis is Bill's Mosley Crop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yes. He 100% reminds me of him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The clown's Captain Spaulding.
That's right. Yeah, I just listened to a song called Captain Spaulding.
So
really?
Yeah. Metal.
Okay.
I'm a metalhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my husband is too.
So
yeah.
with all these words, a million words, if this takes when this takes off and stuff like that, would you think this would translate well into a movie? Would you want that to be a thing?
If I had my choice of any outlet for this, I would want a rated R animated series. I think that it would relate better that way, through the violence and the bloodshed and the demons and characters and all the things they go through. Plus, it's going to take a while to get through the entire series, and people age and they quit and screw them all. So, I would go for an animated series.
Now, Japanese or Western?
Oof, that's a tricky one. I think
Japanese would lend itself a lot better in this.
Yeah, because I just started my husband watching Inuyasha because it was one of my favorite series. And some of the things that Inuyasha does remind me of Draven, except for I told my husband they're similar, but Inuyasha is a lot nicer. Even in his worst stage, he's way nicer than Draven. Draven does not care about anyone ever. It is always Serafina. Yeah, Rama was great.
See, she knows.
Rumiko Takahashi is awesome. But I actually watched Inuyasha before it came into the States. I had the manga from New York City before it was even translated, and I had the VHS tapes before it was subtitled or anything. People from Japan would mail me the tapes, and I had to buy a special DVD, special VHS player to play them.
You had to get a
that's PAL.
PAL.
Right.
My pal. So yes, I have I've had obsessions of and I'm very impatient. So I love that my artist is fast. My wallet not so much, but I love it. But I mean he's super fast. Like I said, we already have. I don't start a Kickstarter until I have at least the initial issues in hand, because I have to make sure that it's going to be ready and that my readers don't have to wait. I have the books out and the things out before 2 weeks even ends after the Kickstarter. They are like triple wrapped, gift wrapped, and all that stuff, which I'll probably regret if I ever get popular. But for now, they're all handled with care. And I got them all on a Friday, and they were all out on a Saturday the next day. And then I didn't even get my money from Kickstarter for 4 more days. So I try to get them out as fast as possible. We keep a pretty steady, or we're going to try to keep a pretty steady every other month release. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully that'll not make my fans go broke. So, marketing.
Is that from James? Because
yes, James. He's a marketing. Yes.
Is there any variant covers? Actually, there are variant covers. So issue 2, I didn't realize about variant. I knew what variant covers were, obviously. I just didn't know if I should do them. So for the first 3 books, they were released together, and only variant I have is issue 2, which is Ian Chase Nichols, which is the artist from The Tick and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Red Sonja.
Yes.
And our artwork for our variant, we have a lot of pretty good artists on us. We have so Kevin Hunt did our issue. Where is it? I know I have all these here, but
a lot of badassness going on here right now.
So
I know.
This is our metal cover for issue 4. This artist is Ken Hunt, who worked on for 10 years on Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, and the color is from the current colorist on Lady Death Universe, CC Dela Cruz, and they're both working on, which I just got the original art today. They're working on, which you can't see because of the glare, the graphic novel cover that the same people just did. So this is Ken Hart's work. Ian Chase Nichols, who worked on Teenage Ninja Turtles and The Tick, he actually just finished the ink for a wraparound cover for issue 6 of the vampires attacking my 2 characters, and Seraphine is using a flamethrower, and Draven's using a sword. Draven does not like guns, so he uses melee weapons. But my character's like, screw that, and uses guns all the time. But yeah, and so the Marvel artist who did a cover, the topless cover for issue 6 and another cover for 7, worked on for 10 years. Let's see, Iron Man, New Mutants, Deadpool.
Wow.
Deadpool, you say?
Yeah, you can. His name is Rich Parati. You can Google him, and he pops up right on. He worked on DC too, but DC must not love him because they're nowhere on any other sites. But Marvel has a page just for him, so he did some really good work. So we have some pretty good names on there, but mostly because everyone's like, "Oh, you got such cool names." It's like, well, credit cards, man. What do you want from me? That's what does it. So, yeah. How do you get in touch with pro artists? I beg them. I you know what? I don't know. I message them and I flatter them until they give in. Pretty much how it works. So and they do. They and I have to say, like, Ian Chase Nichols is like the nicest guy on the planet. He does not know his work is good at all. He'll if you go on his Facebook, he just posted about me and he called me his pal or buddy, and I was like, that's the sweetest thing ever. But he's super nice and he says I'm great to work with. And my husband says that he doesn't know me very well, but
opportunity if you didn't reply back to that and say I'm not your guy, buddy.
That's the first thing I thought of, because we just watched the Canada strike today on South Park, and we always say that all the time. So, I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your friend guy.
I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your guy, pal. I'm not your pal, friend. I'm not your friend, bye.
Let's see. What's it like defining your characters, the actions, decisions? What is the process like to get into process? To get into these process. Yeah. Their motives. Draven is a simple person. His motive is to just to save Seraphina. There is literally nothing else inside his head.
Save Seraphina. Everybody else, leave me the
fuck. It literally is. That's it. I'm not your buddy guy. Yeah.
I'm not your buddy guy.
Hey, Eric.
Seraphina is more likely to help other people. I don't know if it's the angelic blood or she's just a nice person. She's more likely to help others unless it puts Draven in danger. But Draven hates it because he's like, why you got to save everybody for? So Seraphina is a little bit different. Now the other characters, we have some demons that actually help them. Some that are, wishy-washy and kind of do whatever they want. And they don't have a lot of allies. And when they do get an ally, Draven pretty much scares them off anyway. So, like in book 3, they're with 2 survivors, and Draven is jealous of him all the time, and I think he punches him out at least twice. So, and then they worked together at one point, but he became an enemy, which I loved. He became an enemy in book 2 because they were younger and the circumstances were completely different. So he actually betrays them in the spinoff. So it was kind of cool to do it that way. Again, nothing we do is on purpose. So it just came out really cool. So my characters tell the story. I have nothing to do with it. I've actually argued with the character in my head before. I was on the Nightmare Island book 5, I think, and I had her walk in this room and these hook things and these wires connected to her skin, and I was like, I don't know where this is going, and the the floor was something weird, and I said, I don't know where I'm going with this. This makes no sense. And the character's like, just keep going. I was like, I'm drunk or something. I don't know. But anyway, so I just kept writing it, and I kept saying, I got to start over. This is making no sense. And I just finished it, and I was like, that was fucking cool. So I sent it to my co-writer, and she's like, where the hell did you get this idea? I was like, don't ask me. I have no idea. So I'm just a prophet for my characters.
Meanwhile, she's sipping on a beer like no clue.
Yeah, like I'm like, I have no idea how many issues I've done so far and how many pages. Okay, so there's a little discrepancy about the pages. I don't think anyone's going to care because I don't change the price. However, the lowest one is 24 pages. That is just issue 5 so far. No other one. All the other ones are 28 to 36. So yeah, I tried to make it consistent, but because it's coming from a novel, I stop it wherever the hell it tortures the reader the most. So I have to keep going sometimes a little bit. Yeah, they're gonna kill me on book 3, man. I every one is like the worst cliffhanger ever. Yeah, I have to end it in a certain way. So I tried to keep them at 28. I did really good on book 2, 1 through 5 chapters. The first 5 chapters are 28 pages, and then bam, 36. And like I was like, damn it. And then so issue 6. I think it goes 28, 32, 32, 28, 24, 32, and 36. So so far issue 7 is the longest. We're 5, 6, 7, 8 pages in so far. So I know 24 pages is the standard, but yeah, I save a ton. I was so excited for 24 pages because I saved a ton of effing money. I mean, it was like hundreds of dollars. And but unfortunately the story must be told in all its glory and greatness, and so I've had to do longer. But yeah, so technically issue 7 is officially 12 pages longer, not including covers. It's 12 pages longer than issue 5. So
also, ladies and gentlemen, she saved a whole bunch of money on her car insurance by switching.
I did. I had to sell my car for this. What are you talking about? No, I'm just kidding. But I always joke that, like, if you see me one day in the background is like tons of books, I'm probably in a library because I lost my house trying to sell these and make these and stuff. We'll see how that goes. My husband is incredibly patient, or it's me that handles all the bills and he doesn't know, but he's incredibly supportive. So we're hoping for it to do well. Like I said, it only has to cover the artist, and I'm happy with that because this is the best hobby I've had. I've wasted tons of money in my life. At least this one has a purpose.
Right. we all can relate to that.
Yep.
Literally on screen, I'm building Lego. You want to talk about something that costs a lot of money?
Legos, yeah. Yeah, especially Star Wars Legos. Do you have Star Wars Legos?
That's literally what I'm building right now.
Of course. Yeah, of course you do. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's my $700 Obi-Wan Kenobi saver. So
you guys are like all the guys I used to. Back in the day when I went to anime cons, I went to Otakon and Katsucon, and I was like the only girl there in the 90s. And like I miss those days because it was so much fun. I haven't been to an anime. Well, I guess I kind of went to an anime convention, but it wasn't the same. I used to dress. Have you ever seen Lotus War?
Sounds familiar.
No.
It's like if you haven't seen Lotus War.
Stop. I'm gonna stop you right there. You want to get married?
I dressed up as Dietland.
Those of you are already married.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. No, Chris. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. Watch this. Okay. Check this out. So
thank you, James.
I have to turn off my green screen in order for you to see this, but 1 second. First of all, Record of Lotus War is my favorite anime of all time.
Yep.
It's the only anime my mother ever bought for me before she passed away.
It was the first anime I ever owned. I made my dad buy me the box set, and it was the first anime I ever watched.
I had it on VHS, and I had it for years and years and years. And about 2 years ago, because anyway, I drew this. Oh,
we can't see it for us.
Of course not. And I even turned the damn screen off too. Hang on.
Background off.
Such a tease.
There.
Hold on.
Do this.
There
There you go.
Oh shit, that's nice.
Yeah, that's color pencil. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
hot.
I'll keep that. That's I love Deedlit because I love Lisa Ortiz.
I found a picture of me cosplaying about it years ago, but I dressed up as Deedlit to my, I don't remember which con. I dressed up as Deedlit at one and Kagome at the other, but I don't remember which one. So yeah, but Deedlit was my favorite and an interesting outfit to put together. So, but yeah, that was like my favorite. It was Dungeons and Dragons in cartoon, and I mean, obviously there was Uni in Dungeons and Dragons, but this was anime Dungeons and Dragons, and yeah, now
exactly what it was.
Yeah, it's Dungeons. It had all the characters, the thief and the fighter and the magician and the clerk and cleric, whatever. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, side note, where were we?
So I have a question for you. One of my co-hosts at another channel I'm on, we are in the process of writing a horror movie short. Do you have any suggestions on how, or for the audience too, of how to a good way to work with a co-writer on the process?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Well,
yes, no boobs.
one should be in charge and the other one should listen. That's how it works well with us. It's very tricky to work. She's like my soul writer, so we write really well together. If you're on the same plane, it's just, somebody posted today, is it better to have a partner that's like-minded or has connections? And I said, you have to go at like-minded. You can always make connections. And they're like, oh, isn't connections more important? I was like, have you ever worked with someone you don't like? I run my own business. Trust me, you want to work with somebody you like. That as long as you got to get along, try not to argue. It depends how passionate you are about it. We have never really argued. Now that I jinxed it, we had one thing that we disagreed on, and JC folded right away. They were in hell, and they had just gone through like the most traumatic things they've ever been to, and she wanted to push it further. I was like, can you give them like 5 seconds to breathe? So
no,
yeah. So
really, it's for the week.
Yeah. Our poor characters, man, I tell you. But yeah,
they breathe when they're dead.
Yeah. And well, funny story. No, but I would say the toughest thing is to get your ideas written out. So write it out, and sometimes it's easier if they don't listen to write it out and let them read it. Write it in I'm a role player, so writing it in paragraph form and then handing it to them, your idea is one of the best ways. Obviously, outline is good. I don't use it. I don't do anything. I don't plan ahead. I sit down and write. So I'm not really good at this. But definitely, you just have to listen to the other person, because it's very difficult to get your thoughts across if they don't understand where you're trying to get your thoughts out, which I'm obviously not very good at articulating what I want to say, but yeah. But writing everything down is best.
Yeah. Phil, Eric wants you to show her Distance Nerdorilla. Do you have it available?
I do have the Distance Nerdorilla available. Hold on.
Okay. James says that you guys argue all the time about whether tacos should have cheese or not.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the shoes. Those are like the most 80s things I've seen today, but yeah.
Yeah, so this is a collaboration with Lucharillas that we did. Lucharillas, the idea is they're luchadors and they're gorillas.
Nice.
Simple enough. And he made a Distance Nerdorilla for us. Yeah, that's the culmination of that character.
I love it. Yeah.
And
Eric, animation for that.
And Eric, I still need a horror one for the Lucharilla.
Yeah. So Eric also is a artist on another horror comic called Night of the Chihuahuas.
That's awesome. Let me tell you something. I work with dogs, and that is more horrifying than anything I can write. Right. Is chihuahuas.
Think of it's like Resident Evil with Night of the Living Dead, but the zombies are monster chihuahuas.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't know if you guys have to. You have time for me to play the video, or do you?
By all means. At this point, we are all here for you.
I'm sorry.
No, the conversation is lending itself to be that way, so we are okay with it.
Okay, I didn't mean to take over your show. It seems to happen a lot. I think I talk too much. It's the Italian New Yorker in me. Leave me alone. Okay, so all right. So I'm going to share. I don't really know how to do this, but does it share? Okay.
Yeah, I can add it to the stream. Let me know.
Okay.
You ready?
Let me turn the music real quick.
I shared it. I don't know if you can see it, but
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's 2 minutes, so bear with it. But
yeah, I'll put
this explains it more than I can. So.
I'm ready for more.
I love you guys.
More.
I am now ready to fight. Let's do this. Kind of waiting for a dude to start singing in Japanese right now.
No, we did not miss one bit.
Would be close.
Fights in a red dress. There you go.
Sweet.
Nice. That I'm gonna say that it's remind me of very 90s, partially Buffy, partially Supernatural.
Yeah.
Music in there.
Yes, that is exactly what that is. And the song is that's the background, that's the music from the song that you can download.
That's what I was saying. Is the entire time I was waiting for somebody to start singing in Japanese.
Yeah. Actually, when you hear the vocals, it is a little bit anime. Yeah, it's a little bit there. But yeah, no, he did not miss Linday. I love Anubis. Yeah, my artist.
This is a badass character.
Yeah, he really is. I'm reading all the.
Yeah,
Raven. Yeah, he's pretty badass too. He has depth, but not as much as Serafina. So, yeah. I'm glad you guys liked it. I just the video usually shows the artwork, and I figured it'll help people.
Oh, that's great.
A little bit. But yeah, so
it's like there's no convincing for us. We're already convinced. It's convincing everybody else, right?
Yeah, that's usually. I mean, once somebody reads it, they usually like it. It's just getting people to read it. That's the tricky part. I mean, I've done a ton of interviews, but it depends how many views they get, and they're usually smaller views. This, like I said, this is the most active stream I've been on. So
we appreciate that.
I discovered I have a horrible obsession, and I've been calling it the I'm addicted to the obsession. So and we have a thing that we've been saying that if so I have no tattoos, but if I ever get 500 backers, I'm going to get a tattoo of the logo, and the backers can pick the saying that goes underneath it, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be the one that says I'm a pain in the ass, because that's one of the sayings. But yeah. So yeah, and besides that, I've I actually realized I had some kind of talent, and it was storytelling. So I did not realize that I had any kind of talent whatsoever. So it's good to know there's something there that isn't wasted. While I was writing, I mean, I'm dyslexic, so I never thought writing was going to be a thing. But yeah, research. Oh my God, there's a lot of research. So every character we have, besides Draven and Seraphina, all the demons and monsters, except for the ones that we kind of make up along the way, they're based on mythology or scripture. And besides their personality, all their powers and everything come from scripture. So they're accurate. See, I love Supernatural, but they just put a name on any damn angel and demon they wanted and be like, oh, there's the character. It's not how it works. So like they had Remnal in, I think, later seasons in Supernatural, and they made him the Prince of Hell. He was literally like one of the famed, that's her father. Remnal's her father. Mm-hmm. He is the judgment of souls. He takes the souls from earth, judges them and brings them to heaven. And that's what he uses the angelic weapon for. He carries the souls in them. So in scripture, he created Nephilim and was the first to sin against God. And so he created Seraphina. So in our story, he kind of does create a half angel, half, doesn't look like a damn Nephilim, but,
definitely isn't a Nephilim.
Yeah, she's too hot to look like a Nephilim. But so, and then you have Draven's father, who is Asmin, which is the chaos demon who, lives off of souls. He devours souls. Mm-hmm. And in scripture, they had nothing to do with each other whatsoever. But they went so well together that not only did Asmin go and take souls from the Bridge of Judgment, he is immune to lightning, which is Remnal's power. So they just fit so well in the story, and he's always angry, and he's actually pretty funny. They banter a bit, and I actually like that. Like, I think one of the lines that I liked, which I wrote, so I guess I'm biased, but in issue 7, they caused the very thing that they didn't want to happen while they were fighting. And so her father, Remnal, says, who's more stuck up than obviously Asmin, says, I hate you so much. And Asmin's like, that's my favorite thing about you. So they have this, like, Asmin thinks it's funny, whereas the father's more like, I'm going to destroy you the second I get. So yeah. And then Seraphina's mother is a Celtic god and goddess, I guess. And so her powers come into play later. And there's a lot of research that went into this. And their guardian angel, who failed miserably in the last life, he is Camiel, which is the angel of true love and conflict resolution, because we all know you need both. And side note, he was tricked. And there's a hint to that, and he talks about it when you read it. There was a prophecy that said if an angel and a demon ever fell in love, they could never be separated, or a war between heaven and hell would break out. So we don't say why or how. I mean, we don't say why or how, but Remnal faked the prophecy because the only one that could get to them was their guardian angel. So he faked the prophecy and said that if they ever fell in love, they had to be separated. So the guardian angel did something absolutely horrid and started the war between heaven and hell, which you can hear him say to him, don't you think it's odd that the war started after I separated him? And Remnal's like, no, mind your own business and just work. So,
no, don't worry about it. Fine.
Don't worry about it. But you can.
It's okay.
You can kind of see that Camiel is kind of realizing that maybe something's, going on behind the scenes that he doesn't. It's kind of like Castiel in Supernatural, but he's way stupider. And I'll tell you the most annoying thing, which I created, so I have no right to be mad at it, but I hate it. He never does contractions, so it's always cannot, is not. He never. So it's so annoying because I have to go back and double check every single thing to make sure he doesn't say it. And I don't know why I even did that, but it does make him sound more annoying, and that's probably why.
It was you were probably thinking like, what annoys the shit out of me? Okay,
yeah,
what
pretty much. Yeah, I thought to torture myself. No, I just tell him what the character needs to have. Like Seraphina had to have blonde hair, brown eyes. Draven had to have medium long brown hair and blue eyes. Those were the major traits, and of course, he had to have muscles. And then everyone else, it's kind of like the angel just needs to look like an angel and make him blonde because she's blonde. The demon had to have which is very annoying for him to remember. My artist has the worst memory in the world. So Hesman has symbols on his face, but they never tell you what they are. So like an idiot, I made him runes. So now he's got massive runes on his face, and he has to put them on all the time. And they spell his name. That's how egotistical he is. He has these spikes on his wrists, and he had to have bat wings. And other than that, I told him you could do whatever you want. For whatever reason, he made him naked. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. I guess he figures a demon wouldn't care, and it makes sense. I mean, you never see anything; it's like dark. But I just was like, he made the demon naked. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a demon, why wouldn't you want to walk out with your?
Yeah, he doesn't. He literally does not care. So there's that. But I would think that would be very uncomfortable. But whatever.
I mean, he's a demon. He's probably not uncomfortable. He's probably pop out. It's fine.
Yeah. So obviously he doesn't care. So we have a lot of, like I said before, Easter eggs. We will have the plant from Resident Evil in the asylum. I'm not sure if it's green, red, or blue yet, but or maybe all of them. I don't know. But that I always love that they just have this. They're going through zombies and there's plants on the ground, so I had to add those in there. Did Florida Man what?
Oh, that's Forrest is Florida Man.
Oh.
He is.
You want to know why? I could tell you why there's so many articles on Florida Man. Do you want to know why?
We've actually explained it on the show before, but please again.
Oh, no, if you're too smart for me, screw it.
No. We love it. Do say it again.
No, because they have a deal with reporters that everything gets sent directly to all police reports get sent to the reporters.
The reporters, right?
So they get to hear all the scoops and all the stuff.
So it's not that more shit happens in Florida. It's just you see, it's
you get to hear about
it more. Because dumb shit happens in California too. I will tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
not as much as in Florida.
Angels and demons have summer homes. Yeah, that's probably accurate.
In Florida.
Yeah. In Florida, yeah.
In Florida, yes.
So we're working on prequel 2, where you get to see how the feud started between the fathers, how Seraphina was created, how Draven's father killed her as a baby to get the weapon, but it didn't work. She got reincarnated, so he created Draven to go get it from her, and he fell in love with her. So we're gonna spell all that out. So that's probably gonna be another 5. We only have one book from that right now, but there'll probably be another 4 books. It'll probably be 5. But we like the number 5. I don't know why. So it just turns out that way.
I mean, you would think that you guys would do more 7s, but I mean,
or 6.
Or 6s, right.
Yeah, I don't know why it came out as a 5, but there we are. And both the series, there are a series 2, but the whole series 1 for Redemption, I'm gonna have a warning on the last page that said, if you want a happy ending, don't read the epilogue. So there you go. Read the epilogue. So
I mean, I love bad endings.
Yeah, my husband does too. He wants everyone to die all the time. Cool. All the time.
Like we were gonna make sure that your husband and Graveyard link up, right? Because they sound like they would enjoy movies together.
Let's see. Do you write full script and give it to your artist to draw, or do your artists have freedom to interpret? Okay, so funny story. When we first, I feel bad telling this story because I don't want it to come out like he's combative. It's all me. It's not him. We butt heads a lot on issue 2 because for the first artist, all I had to do was give a script. And if there's 4 panels, they drew 4 panels. Jonas DaCosta would do whatever the hell they want with the panels. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing. And you're missing items and you're not adding the right stuff and blah, blah, because he was using all these panels. So we kept butting heads, and then I'm like yelling at the screen, and my husband's like, "You need a new artist." It's like, I've spent thousands and months to find this guy. He's gonna be the artist in any way possible. So what I realized that had to happen was, which is why it's 45 issues, it would be less otherwise. I cut back my panels. So instead of 6 panels, instead of 5 to 6 panels, I now have 3 to 4, and then he turns them into the glorious pages that you see now. So he gets a script. And he gets told what needs to be on it. So I do panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, but then he doesn't listen to me at all and then just whatever he wants anyway. So I do give him a script. It just doesn't matter to him.
The life of dealing with an artist.
Yeah, but you know what? He knows far more than I do because I get praised all the time for his panel work, for his artwork, his storytelling ability. He makes it look like a movie, and I just let him do his own thing. So I'm technically paying double to have his skill, and it's definitely worth it because he's underpaid anyway. So it works out. But yeah, I love the panel work, and I love seeing the characters. He sent me 5 sketches today. And he's like, they're rough sketches, dude. I would print them. Like they're just like they're ready to go. Like, I don't care. They look amazing. So I really enjoy his artwork, and I'm very, 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 very lucky to have him. So he swears up and down he's never going away. I always say, I know you're gonna get some big deal and leave, but yeah, he says he's not. So we'll see. If I have to lock him up in the basement, it's what I have to do. So.
Which probably would be a good storyline anyway. So there you go.
Yeah, right. So if you ever see like the room vibrating or like the panels move, he's probably chained up in the corner over there or something. And whatever needs to be done for the story, man. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. Anyway, do you have more questions?
Philly, we start wrapping this up. We're approaching about 15 till.
Okay. There you go.
All right, so we're back to learning about you. What would you think would be the worst movie sequel ever made? Mine is The Happening 2.
There's a Happening 2?
No, I'm saying what would be the worst sequel?
One that we've said in the past.
Yeah,
one of the ones that we've done in the past too was what was the movie? Passion of the Christ 2. The Resurrection reboot.
Did you see Family Guy though?
Yes.
Price too. So I don't know. It might not be as bad as you think.
Well, they are making a sequel to it. So just so you know.
So it's Passion of the Christ 2 when he hanging out in the grave or something like that. And he rose again.
Beetlejuice 2 is coming, and I'm kind of scared about that. But then again, the original script for 2 was them in Hawaii, so it really can't be worse than that. So
right,
it's also like the original cast, the original film team, like all the people from the first movie are coming back for this. So
for who? Beetlejuice?
For Beetlejuice,
it is the original crew, or it isn't?
Yeah,
it is. Yes,
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but originally the script was them in Hawaii. That was the original script.
Yes,
it's really funny because if you look at when they're moving the stuff out of the house or whatever. The moving truck says Torrington, Connecticut, and it's supposed to be in Connecticut. It's not filmed in Connecticut, but I lived in Torrington, so I always thought that was funny, and I was thrilled that I thought that they filmed it there, and I was like, this looks nothing like Torrington. It's not. So, but they didn't actually film it in Connecticut at all, the bastards. So.
That's most movies. They don't film where the movies.
I know, but they actually put like a real town in Connecticut on the truck with the real number and everything. So they got me all excited.
I can tell you right now, 90% of the movies that say they take place in San Francisco are not San Francisco.
Probably can't afford it.
Yeah, I'm from San Francisco, and that is not the city that I'm from. The stuff that you see in these movies is always like a very stylized and idealized version of San Francisco, and it's like, San Francisco is foggy 90% of the time, and fucking it's not this, it's not this upper class. There's sections of the city that are like that, but that's not the vibe of the city itself.
Oh, and Eric, to answer your question, it's Cellar Dweller is what you're thinking of.
Who's a cellar dweller?
He's asking. He remembers a horror movie long ago about a woman who would draw a comic about a demon. Demon manifest and do things to draw in the comic. Asking for the title, Cellar Dweller.
I thought she was talking about my lifestyle.
Yeah, now I'm just stuck on The Happening 2, so I can't think of any other movie because that was like
that would be the worst one, right?
Worst. I can't even imagine. I barely got through the first one. Did you ever watch Pitch Meeting?
Oh yes.
Did you see Pitch Meeting for The Happening?
Yes.
Where they're just like, oh, they're gonna go out and they're just gonna, end, and then it just ends. So what happens? That's it. It just ends. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay. My favorite is we just watched today's Indiana Jones pitch meeting.
For Dial of Destiny?
Yeah,
I haven't watched the movie yet.
Oh, I haven't watched it, but the pitch meeting was perfect where they're just like everything that he says is like dead on.
I watched it and it's like there are weird choices in it. that's kind of where I'm gonna go with that. Is like there are very, very weird choices in it. But there is like a very heartfelt story in there. You know, that kind of like caps off the ending really well. Like the ending ends up being really good for, you know, kind of like all the mishaps in the third act.
Yeah, it didn't do well in the box office.
Oh no!
As for Anubis Diet, no, I don't think that'll be released. But I mean, I'm all for having a poster made of him working out in the gym. I'm perfectly good with that. I had to write the epilogue in the spinoff where Hades and Hecate have to go convince Anubis to join my character's side for the war, and he doesn't talk, so he's kind of like a Pokemon, but he just kind of like growls. But
he doesn't go Anubis.
No, he doesn't. No, he just kind of growls and stuff. But I'm looking for. I haven't written him into the story yet in that aspect of it, of the whole war. It's going to be heaven and hell team up against because of something that happens, but and they're going to be against Hecate and Hades army of zombies, which does not go well with my characters, and the Anubis and his army of mummies. So there's going to be a 5-book cover where it's going to be each one of them, the army and all set up. But yeah,
it sounds like Roy Kent.
I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, I don't exactly know how I'm gonna have because Anubis wasn't actually in all of the novels. He's in the comic book because I absolutely adored him, but he wasn't in any of the story that we wrote, and I added him on, and I added him playing fetch with a hellhound, which I thought would be like I thought I'd get yelled at for that, but everyone loved it. I know I can't explain what happens because it would give it all away, but it happens in the spinoff, so I mean technically I could tell it. But due to false claims and something that happens to the fathers, the Celtic mom put the two heaven and hell against my characters. So fortunately, Hecate is on it. She knows that the prophecies were faked and she's trying to figure it out, so she's on it. So yeah, anyway. Yeah.
So,
anyway, what's the question?
Tell us what you're currently nerding out on.
Myself, man. I don't know what to tell you. Just like I said, this Resident Evil movies and all the new anime I could find because I've been so out of touch with anime, it's unbelievable.
But, so I want to know what you thought of the last live action Resident Evil. I gotta know.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I remember sitting in the theater because back in the day, that's the only place you would see a trailer was back in the theater. So I don't remember a movie I was there to see, but I remember the umbrella symbol come up, which by the way I had on my lab coat when I worked in a lab. But I see it come up and I was like, oh my God, my movie's finally getting made. Resident Evil is finally getting made. They don't show you anything, of course. They show you the vial and they show you the hot chick selling the vial or whatever. I was super excited. And I went to see the movie and not one of my damn characters were in it. So they lost me on the first movie because it was a decent movie. It just wasn't Resident Evil. It was like a prequel. So I wasn't happy about it. And then when they finally brought Leon in, they made him like a puppy dog, and that was really stupid.
I was gonna say the first one was the only one that I would consider decent because
it was a decent movie. It just wasn't from the games. They should have put someone in there. I mean, I don't even care who, but someone from whatever.
Did you see the newest one though? That was shot for shot remake of the game.
This is what I'm gonna say about Welcome to Raccoon City. It was very fan, for the fan. However, my husband had no idea what the fuck was going on. And I will say it would have been way better if they didn't try to squeeze in 2.5 movies into one. they had Resident Evil 1, 2, and part of 3 like crammed into just this one movie. And for whatever reason, they switched 2 of the characters. I think it was Richard and Bradley, or Bradley was supposed to be on the other team, or I don't know, whatever they did. But I like the characters. I don't know why the orphan thing was weird. But it was just so crammed full, you know? So as a fan, I liked it better, but it didn't satisfy me enough to watch it over and over again, which I can for other movies. So I think it had such better potential than any other Resident Evil movie. They just didn't do it right. They gave you every possible fan loved thing you could possibly think of. But I don't know why they had to cram 2 in with 3. I mean, they could have went to, I mean, trust me, I want to see Claire, because Mila stole all of Claire's cool scenes. Like the scene with the helicopter being shot. That's from Code Veronica, and that wench stole it, so I was not happy. Then they made her blonde. Like, and where is Claire ever blonde? Like, ever. And then they got in trouble for it, and she came back with bright red hair.
I've never been a fan of the Resident Evil movies, mainly because they just felt like a vehicle for Mila Jovovich. And it's like, and not that I hate Mila Jovovich and everything like that. She's fine, but it's just kind of like, it wasn't Resident Evil. It just became
Resident Evil. It was her movie. It was for her. Wasn't it? Like, wasn't
her husband made it for her?
There you go. Yes. That's what I was like. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Her husband wanted to make an action franchise that she could star in, and that's.
I mean, Leon. You know, Leon was there with his jacket, but I mean, he looked fine. He just didn't act like Leon. So, no, I didn't like any of the Resident Evil movies. I guess if I had to pick the only good thing about it, I'd say Wesker was pretty cool. But generally, I did not like the movies.
Albert Wesker was okay. I wouldn't even say he was that good.
He wasn't good. I said he was the best thing, because everything else sucked.
He was okay for Wesker.
Except you gotta remember, if you ever watched the Resident Evil TV show, Zavala was Wesker.
It's true. Zavala was Wesker.
Yeah.
So that's the best version of Wesker.
Right.
This is a Leon doll that I had made straight from Japan. Since we didn't have Google Translate, I can't remember how I actually got her to understand what I wanted. Probably lots and lots of pictures, but back in the day, I paid like $400 for this. Where I had $400, I don't know. But I also had the jacket, which I have to tell you weighed like 400 pounds. So I could not wear it. No one could wear it. It was just sat in my closet for years, and it was awesome though. So anyway, I went on a tangent again. Sorry.
It's fine.
All right. I know one of Phil's favorite question is, what's your favorite taco or taco spot?
Yeah.
I like Crunchwrap Supreme because I like crunchy and I like it contained. I don't like messy food, so Crunchwrap Supreme. That's it. Or I make my own.
I'm not going to be upset with that because I like Crunchwrap Supremes. So
yeah, I remember when they were a limited edition item, and when it became like a real thing, I was like, "This is awesome." Yeah. So yeah.
All right, so we got to ask this question here, right? This is going to be a anime versus your book kind of thing. Anubis versus Beerus the Destroyer. Who wins in a fight?
Oh, for the love of okay.
I'm gonna just have to say my Anubis because he has far more powers than you'll ever know. So, plus I'm biased. So
he's like, "Oh my god, why would you have to do Beerus the Destroyer?" God of Destruction, man. Why not?
I'll tell you the number one cover I'm waiting to do is, so I don't know if you know, Anubis has the power to walk through portals. He creates portals and walks through them. Mm-hmm. So he walks through the portal that gets him into the city that's infected with zombies. Mm-hmm. So my first thought was that he takes the axe and he like destroys the zombies. And I was like, wait a minute. He just holds up the staff and it glows and like they part like the Red Sea.
Part of the Red Sea.
Yeah. So I'm excited. The zombies parting the way. Yeah. No brainer.
Parting the red zombies. Let's do it.
I mean, Forrest, I think this question is for you. Anubis versus Master Roshi.
Well, I mean, you can't win them all. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And right now, it's folding time.
I did not mean to take over your show, by the way.
No, it's fine. That's exactly why we have our guests on. Is
oh yeah,
if it happens that way, it happens that way.
This is hands down one of the very best builds we've had. Period.
Now, guys, let's give you the progress on Commander Cody here. Before we get out. Come on, Dakota.
Come on, Dakota.
So,
wow,
no mask on the front right here, but basically you've got most of the side done. I just finished the back piece on the back of the helmet right there. So it's the base piece right there. Top of the visor is done right there, and I'm starting to work on one of the pieces on the side of the helmet where his rangefinder is at. What's
the most expensive Lego kit you bought?
Most expensive kit that I have right now.
Well, Jack's not listening, right?
LeJack has to approve of every kit I buy. What is the most expensive one? It's probably going to be. I got the NES kit when it first came out.
Wow, I thought the DeLorean would be more expensive.
No, the DeLorean was around 200. The NES kit was 350.
Yeah.
What in the what?
And I think it's 250 now, but when it first launched, it was 350.
Yes.
I think the most expensive one I bought was the Lego Star Wars Force Unleashed Star Killer ship that I still have.
Oh, I may need to find that. The Star Killer is one of my favorite characters of all time.
It's disassembled, but I still have it in a plastic bag, all pieces plus we moved.
Don't disassemble.
With the instructions. I might be willing to part with that there, young Phil. You never know.
I might have to talk to you on the side here.
So first of all, I love James's crossover. I definitely want to have Anubis go against Chihuahuas.
Yes.
I will say that I am working on starting a mini series crossover, kind of like Kingdom Hearts, where it jumps into other indie comics and they go through that world with those characters. So if anyone wants to cross over, I have 3 or 4 that are already doing Mary Machine Gun, Rob Matari's Nightwolf, and Lori's Path of the Pale Rider are going to do that. But yeah, I love crossovers. So. Though Marvel used to go crazy with them. So
right.
Yeah, well, so you know who else goes crazy with them? The freaking Ninja Turtles goes crazy with them.
Yeah.
Anubis versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, I don't know. It's just something about seeing your favorite characters together. I mean, what was the
Oh, come on. You and I both know from being probably 12, 13 years old, having the X-Men appear on the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yep.
with the voice actors and the X-Men's background music.
But they also did that with the Fantastic Four too, and with Iron Man. There was all those crossovers in those cartoons back in the 90s.
Yeah, I was happy when Mario Brothers and Link were on that damn show, the little cartoon. I loved every crossover.
Oh, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
On Friday, you get Zelda. Excuse me, princess.
Excuse me, princess.
She knows how old I am.
You know what? You know
she
what?
Knows how old I am.
You know what? You know what? I'm really excited for.
What?
Merch.
We got merch, people. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. If you are interested in some distance nerding merch, you see it right there on the screen. I'm the only one not wearing our own merch. No, I'm not. I'm the only one
You're
not
late
wearing
to your own show. You're not wearing your own merch. Get
wearing,
off our screen.
I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt that says "I have issues." There you go. But if you guys are interested in the shirt, you can see it right there on Forza's screen. Forza, show them the shirt, that beautiful shirt again. Look at that distance nerding right there. If you're interested in a shirt, they go for $20 or $25. If I got to ship it to you, it's $20 if you're local to the Sacramento area. If you're interested in a hat, you see that beautiful hat on the Beard's head. We're just going to call him Beard from now on. On Graveyard's beautiful head right there. That hat right there is $35. $30 if you buy multiple hats. We do have them in 2 colors. We've got them in the beautiful baller black, like you see on top of his head there. And then we also have Galaxy Gray, which is a heather gray hat right there. Now, guys, if you are interested in more merch, of course, you can head over to lucharillas.com. Get some of that beautiful merch, Lucharillas swag. They've got bottle openers and I was gonna say bump boxes. They've got shirts. I was gonna say boom boxes, but bump boxes, shirts. You know, all the fun stuff, guys. Now, of course, with all that being said, right there, guys, I know I got to get Fours out of here, so I'm gonna say Fours. Give us all of your pluggables, sir.
All right. If you go to kybercave.com, you can get yourself one of these fantastic lightsabers. And when you do, go to saberfont.com. Head over to Fours FX Saber Sound Designs on Saberfont. Get yourself some sound fonts to put on your saber and visit my friends, Juan Sith and Harry Solo fonts, respectively. Saberfont has literally hundreds of sound fonts that you can get, download, and put on your lightsaber to enjoy. You can find me over at Kyber Cave Productions probably 3, maybe 4 times a week, just doing our thing, the gaming, the chatting, the nerding out, having all the fun. And then you will see me right here next week on the build on Distance Nerding. May the Fours be with you.
Still hate that you have your own fucking tagline. All right. Graveyard. Give us all your pluggables.
Pod.
Mostly.
Yes, I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night, Mostly podcast, where we discuss all things horror movie related and reviews. You can catch us coming soon. Can't say when or where, but we are going to be sponsoring another movie marathon this October, so make sure to check that out. Follow us on all social media at Pod Out at Night, where we're posting new episodes. Well, every week at Comic-Con Radio, where we are also a part of that network with Distance Nerding and Geek Saga, so awesome channel. Check that out. New episodes every Wednesday. You also need to follow the Beard on Twitter because it has its own Twitter account.
Follow at Graveyard's Beard. It is so worth it. One of some of the funniest jokes that I've ever seen. I wonder who writes all those jokes.
Someone, I don't know, someone really cool, I think. On top of that, you can find me at Kyber Cave Productions 3 or 4 days a week doing retro alcove gaming. On Mondays, you can see me doing live gaming with Fours right after this, and I have a new show, Saturday Morning Nerd Out, where we discuss all things nerdy in pop culture. So make sure to check that out as well.
Shut up and take my money.
Corissa, give us all your pluggables. Let everybody know where number one, where they can find you, where any appearances that you got going on, and of course any anything you want to plug. Just do it.
Okay, but real quick, James said X-Men versus Teen Titans, and that was my favorite crossover. So I'm just pointing that out. But anyway, well, because I had just looked it up because I thought I made it up because no one believed me that they actually was a crossover. So I looked it up like literally last week, and it's like I told you. But anyway, okay, so I am Worthy Chaos everywhere. So at Twitter, it's at Worthy_Chaos. On Facebook, we actually have 5.3 thousand followers on there, and it would be 1 year 2 weeks ago. And then on Facebook we have a Worthy Chaos page, which is pointless, don't bother, but there is a Worthy Chaos group, which is awesome. I started it 4 weeks ago and we only have 600 members, but as an indie creator, you can post your Kickstarters in there. As an artist, you can post your work in there for commissions. I support all indie creators. So on my Kickstarter pages, there's a highly recommended at the bottom. So if you want your pages added when I have campaigns every other freaking month, I can add you. I cross promote and share everybody more than I share my own. So I'm more than happy to do that. And my most important, I suppose, is Kickstarter. Just go on Kickstarter and search Worthy Chaos. We are the only thing that pops up. We are either in pre-launch or we are live. We are always on the damn thing. And if we're not, just wait 12 hours and we will be. The day after campaign ends, we go into pre-launch and then we go live within 4 weeks, depending on the time of the year. So that is enough of me. Next.
She's like, no, stop, go away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I'm your boy, Young Phil, with the sultry voice. That's a lie. My voice is terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your boy, Young Phil.
I like your voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You can find me or us, Distance Nerding, everywhere social media exists. Of course, that's on the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Twitch, the MySpace, the GeoCities, the Farmers Only, Christian Mingle. You can find us on on what's that new one? It's like Hoogle or something. I don't know. You find us on OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals. And that's basically it, guys. Find us everywhere at Distance Nerding. Now, that is it from us this week, guys. Ready to have some fun, guys. We're bringing the download back on Tuesday. So get your news, get your rumors, get your reviews. Well, we're going to be doing 2 episodes of Secret Invasion since we didn't do an episode this week. We got to make up for it. So that being said, guys, that's it from us. Corissa, we did not warn you, but now you're being warned. We're doing something called the dance party right now.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. What the dance party? What the dance party is. Basically, just grab something around you, a toy, a comic, whatever you want to have, and just make it dance on screen when the theme starts. So, that being said, now she's been warned. It's got to be Anubis. I love it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Remember, keep nerding together. Let's do this. All right. Start here. Graveyard. Woo!
Distance nerding.
That's what happens when James isn't on the show. He's in the chat going, "Am I funny? I'm funny.
Love me.
Love me. Pay attention to me and say Wong."